Hello everybody. In this video, we're going to talk about Paida, the ancient self-healing Taoist practice in which you slap or your body in order to unblock your invisible energy system and to restore the normal flow of the chi in the body and to restore your health. Because people who practice Paida and believe in Taoism believe in this knowledge of the energy which is blocked and causes disease, and while unblocked, it heals disease. This is a Q&A video with very basic questions that I have from a very good subscriber of our channel. Sorry, I don't know if it is she or he, but Chef Chai Ya asked me a very cool beginner questions, but in the same time, we can say some of them are intermediate and very important to know because they are super practical, and Pythagorians will love practical advices. So the comment is really helpful video. Thank you. I've been practicing Paida for about a month and watched many videos online of Master Shao. Great, Master Shao is totally the best. This video is the first time I've seen the sequence like this. So basically, in the video in which this subscriber comment is the video where I am when I'm teaching a basic order of Paida. So I teach that the four main areas, then teach when to Paida the head, armpits, groins, and then how to cover all the body with so-called carpet bombing. And this is not something that I've made up. It is described in the Master Chao's book, Self-Healing with Pythagorian. So, can you explain why we must do both sides of every area like this and the same amount of time? Very simple question and very good. So, why we should slap both sides first? Many people have this misunderstanding that the energy channels are located only in one, only on left or right hand or foot or somewhere on the trunk. Why we think like this? Because on the pictures, like in the books or we can find on internet, most of the time they show the meridian only in one part of the body. So for example, this here is box with my suction cups. You see, you can buy this from the internet and look at the picture they've added. I don't know if you can see right, but in these mannequins, they show only the one meridian. Like here, only on the left leg. Here, only on the right part of the trunk and the torso. So these are made for the pictures to be easily seen, but actually meridians that we want to unblock are symmetrical in both sides. All the 12 major meridians: liver, spleen, kidney, gallbladder, stomach, heart, lungs, triple warmer, small intestine, large intestine, and triple warmer. I don't know. I don't know which meridians I didn't tell, but anyways. So these meridians are symmetrical. So if you see a picture like on the arm, If it's shown the left arm, don't worry, they're in both arms. They're not only on our one arm. And yeah, and why we should, how was the question? Why we should slap both of them the same amount of time? Uh, because when you start with Paida, you never know where are really located your blockages. And you should use the same metrics for both sides, and that's why you will know, um, you will know exactly which side is less or more blocked. Oh, here is you watching live. Great. So you can learn it live. So let's say your first practice, you said that your first practice is 3 minutes. I'll talk a little bit about this in the end of the video, why 3 minutes is something cool, but in the same time uh, you should know something about 3 minutes practices. So let's say your first practice is here 10 minutes, and here 10 minutes, here 10 minutes, and here 10 minutes, here, and here. You see the amount of SHA for the same amount of time, how much it appears on your arms, how much is the pain. You understand how you never know that one of your arms is so more painful than the other one, and you have better understanding of how the energy flows in your body. So especially the first few times of covering the four main areas, in my opinion, is very important to slap for equal amount of time. um, yeah, sorry about that. Let me see again the question. Same amount of time. So this is one of the reasons why we slap uh, in the same amount of time. If there is this is the second question. If there is an area that is very blocked, do you go longer there? Yes. And yeah, once you know all this, once you gain all this information from your body, you understand where you are more blocked and less blocked. So, or without blockages. So you can start to practice more on this area. Let's say you realize that you have big blockage anywhere in the body, for example here, and you can slap here longer than here, for sure. So this is not bad thing to do, no question about that. So you figure it out, right? So, or come back to it after the sequence. Is there, if there is an area that is very blocked, do you go longer there or come back to do it after the sequence? Yes, I mean, going back after the sequence, in my opinion, is better than like changing the time first to your first going through four main areas. Wrists, elbows, knees, and feet. So, and why I think so? Because you see, you have let's say that amount of motivation to do the first round, because the first round of Paida is the scariest round and the most painful round of them all. So the first when you start, you have that amount of motivation, and let's say split that motivation in time in the four main areas, and after that start to practice more on the more blocked parts in your body. At least I think so. Let's say when I've asked myself, okay, how much time can I spend or slapping, the first time I wanted to cover the four main areas. I'm a bit crazy, so I went for 15 minutes, maybe, for my first time. Uh, but before that, I used like 5 minutes, and but yeah, but I don't count this because I didn't have that much time. So I practiced like 10 minutes a day. It was nothing. So yeah. Anyways, why 3 minutes of Paida is different thing than real practice of Paida. So I just tried 3 minutes on every section. It's the first time using a timer, as I have been doing it intuitively or on areas that hurt. So, so 3 minutes. We usually use 3 minutes of Paida to explore and diagnose our energy blockages, because 3 minutes are too little, but in the same time enough to move the energy more than like just sitting relaxed. So if you want to discover the blockages in your upper body, you slap 3 minutes here, 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 here, 3 minutes, 3 minutes. And when you wake up the next day, you might feel like a little bit neck pain, a little bit pain between the shoulder blades, a pain in the shoulder or upper back, something like this. This is because of your exploring the energy. Your observer of your energy blockages. If you are if you are okay, you probably will feel just a little bit of pain or no pain at all. The same thing is with lower body. We slap 3 minutes here, 3 minutes here, both knees, and 3 minutes here and 3 minutes here in both feet. And the same thing is happening with the lower body. So the energy moves a lot, and we can experience like lower back pain and stuff like that. So 3 minutes has not good healing effect, but you can still gain some information from this 3 minutes practice. Let's say what you're saying in the comments. Yes, that makes sense. I had just been all over the place, not methodological at all. I just did 3 minutes before to make sure I got through all four areas. I think it was more effective doing four main areas a little bit than just being random, focusing on painful area. I'm 100% sure about that, because every time I practice on the four main areas, I have better effect than randomly slapping. And in the top of that, this is kind of weird to me, but it's reality. Let's say if I sometimes experience a pain behind right shoulder blade, and I feel weakness in my right shoulder. If I spend 2 hours of slapping on my shoulder and compare the effect of slapping 20 minutes of each on four main areas in my body, or even 15 minutes, the effect on the shoulder is better. So people don't know how actually effective is slapping on four main areas. It is totally the best way to practice Paida. Four main areas for overall health. It is just amazing too. I've recovered many times from flu. You see, I catch flu sometimes, and I recover in a day. Of course, I don't have enough energy, but with all the energy I have, I just start like this. And then a few hours later, like I slept here like 10 minutes, here 10 minutes, then rest a little bit, then the other wrist, then the elbow, and like this, step by step, try to cover with 10 minutes the all four main areas in my body through my first day of catching this flu or cold. And when I wake up the next day, I feel totally healthy sometimes, and sometimes I just need another 10 minutes to be totally healthy in the next day. It is very, very effective. And it's always better to practice the all the areas when you experience some kind of symptom like headache or stomach problems, digestive problems. If you experience something like that, four main areas is the best. It is way more because people usually want one spot. My stomach hurts. Tell me one spot. You see, I have spleen problems. One spot. Please tell me one spot. And I said like four main areas. And there, what are four main areas? Wrists, elbows, knees, and feet. And they're like, wow, this is a whole practice. I'm too lazy to do that. Like they don't say it, but I see them. the, I can see their thoughts while answering. So four main areas is the best. And why? Uh, because four main areas, we cover the whole 12 major meridians, all of them. They go through the four main areas, and these are very key points where they are usually more blocked than in the other parts of their pathway. So, do you usually add the head practice? This is your second question. Yes, I add it and I enjoy it a lot, but I practice way more on the four main areas. Head is amazing, man. I mean, it's totally. I mean, in my list, it's on the second in the second place. I mean, four main areas, and then the head. The head is like the fifth limb. Lots of meridians, lots of joints in the head. Looks round, but we have a lot of joints, and the feeling that gives you Paida on the head is very good. Is like always feel very refreshed and relaxed. Also very good for everything that is happening in the head, especially for throat problems. I got throat problems because I scream a lot in my ex job and now job but just for extra income. I make children parties. I usually scream a lot because I'm surrounded by like 30 children and I must play some games with them for hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, and I scream a lot. 5 years in a row, and this made me a lot of problems with my throat. And nothing helps me that much as slapping on the head. On the head, you usually slap all over the head like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. For the ears, for the eyes, you can slap like this with the soft part. So yeah, that's so good to know, and it makes sense what you just said about the shoulder because it would be having an impact on every meridian that way, not just localized tissue. Yes, and my logic why four main areas are better for local, even for a local pain, is because you see when you slap here, you are cleaning the lung, you are cleaning the heart, the pericardium, and you are cleaning the heart. Actually, totally in the opposite way: lung, pericardium, heart. Here, intestines, and you are putting energy in the organs, and like the organs are given energy to the body, and like the inner organs are healing the muscles. So this is their conversation, and actually that's why I think it helps it helps a bit more to slap the four main areas. And in the same time, probably you experienced it after you finished with slapping 3 minutes on each of the four main areas. You felt like very comfortable, right? You felt like everything moves very, very cool, yeah. In wrists, in all over the body. Like you are slapped only on the main joints, but in the same time, your whole body becomes softer. You can feel that immediately. But yeah, But 3 minutes, sometimes you can feel a little pain somewhere, because 3 minutes are enough to move the energy, but not enough to add the good healing effect. Better try 10, at least 10 minutes, or at least 7-8 minutes, if you want to cover all the four main areas. You don't need to have them all of them in one day. You see, you can start with wrists and elbows, and the next day do the knees and feet, or just the wrists, just the elbows, just the knees, and just the feet. Yeah. um in my opinion, it's good to practice Paida every day. But once you pick a day, just pick one day in which you are free and you have no work to do, or even if you have, skip it, and spend like at least 2 hours of slapping on four main areas. Wow, this have huge effect on the body. When you wake up next day or even in the same day you slap, you feel amazing. Like you feel stable minded. In the same time, all the symptoms of your disease are very reduced. You can work more, you can do your other things more, other stuff in life. So yeah, uh, I think I have another question, not from you, but from one guy, and I procrastinated it. Let me find it. I think it was, yes, Marcus Gaming. I think it was from Marcus Gaming. And the question was, oh, actually, I've answered this question of that guy. He asked me about the sexual performance anxiety, if it relieves with Wajen, but I've made a special video about it. So, again, the chat with Chef Chai, yeah. My main concern is the noise that I make from slapping, as I live close by others and the walls are thin. Is there any way to overcome this? Wow, very good question. This video turns into a video with answering the simplest question in PyDoJin, and I pretty much like that. Stay like that. I'll be here in 15 seconds to show you ways to reduce the noise. I'm coming here. So, the best way to reduce the noise is with a slapper. You should buy a slapper from Amazon. I do not sell slappers. Maybe if you are from Europe, I can send you a slapper. But if you are out of Europe, they will be too expensive. So this is a small slapper. Like, compare it to this, like this. It's not big difference, but this is a difference. Like, if it's smaller, like than your hand, it will produce less noise. They are that kind of slappers, but they are not that good for unblocking. I use them just for my back. But these slappers, if you can find these kind of slappers with that big bubbles, they have advantage that they do not produce that big of a noise, but they are not good for knees, for head, places that you have bone under the skin. I mean, immediately under the skin. So they are good for places that you have muscles. Look how quiet is that thing. You see, this is very quiet and very good Paida, actually. It gives you very good Paida. Compare compared to this thing. But it's not good for the knees, not good for the head. You cannot slap your head with this thing. So yeah, and other thing is that you can use a, some people said that, but I don't think so. If you put a sock on your arm, on your hand, it's kind of less noisy than usual. But yeah, the noise is a problem. I have this problem too, and that's why usually I practice more Paida in the summer than the winter, because in the summer I go out somewhere and spend a lot of time slapping, like somewhere that there are no people around, and just spending time in the nature and slapping. Um, yeah, this is it. Or another trick, if you don't have a slapper, is using your spread fingers like this. When you slap somewhere, just slap with spread fingers. This reduces the noise a lot, like this. The unblocking is a little bit less, but if you can spend more time slapping than with bare hand, it will gives you more Paida and more unblocking. You see, if because of the noise you practice only for 20 minutes, but if it is less noisy, you practice for 1 hour. So 1 hour unblocks you more than 20 minutes, like this. Okay, this video took too long, but good questions. Thank you for your activity in our community. It helps us grow, and it helps me repeating the basic information because it is important for newcomers in my channel and new people to Paida Wajin. Wish you all good. Bye bye, and see you in the next video.